What's up, YouTube? My name's Matt, and today I wanted to talk to y'all about Digimon Adventure 01. Just finished watching it, probably for me like the 10th time or something. And yeah, I was showing my wife Anna for the first time. She had never watched Digimon before, and so we just went through the whole season and just wanted to offer my thoughts, my review on the season and the series. And yeah, I think that it still holds up as like yeah, like this is fun and this is solid. Definitely, probably harder to get into for someone who's new, who's like an adult. Obviously, the show is made for kids, but I do appreciate that there's still some level of depth in the characters. I think I remembered it being a little bit more complex, maybe, or nuanced. And I didn't notice until this rewatch where it just seems like they undercut a lot of the serious moments sometimes. Similar kind of to the MCU and yeah, just Marvel movies. Where I love the Marvel movies, but a lot of the time they can also, tend to undercut serious moments with a quick one-liner and quip, or yeah, some sort of funny moment to just kind of shift the attention away. And so I felt like Digimon kind of did similar, where yeah, you would have something really intense happening, and then you would just quickly have some joke or some explanation, even. And I don't know if that was just, I mean, some combination probably of like poor translation, poor writing of the dub. Yeah, this was also of the English dub and not the original Japanese. So I've heard from different things online, people talking about how the original Japanese sub is a lot, yeah, darker, a lot deeper, and there's just a lot of like, not even mistranslating, I think just like rewriting of the original script. And so um, I don't super know. I haven't watched it before. Maybe at some point I will hopefully watch it because the Japanese theme song is way better than the English dub version, I will say. I have listened to that before. But yeah, I thought that there were some moments where it seemed like maybe, yeah, the combination of like the poor writing or transferring over to the English, and maybe just like also targeting a younger demographic. They probably didn't want to linger too much on those like negative things. So I mean, I've seen a lot of people talk about how the episode with Matt kind of metaphorically falling into this state of depression is like really impactful and moving. But then I like later in that same episode, I just didn't remember, or I mean, I remembered it as I saw it, but it was just like a surprise to me when the same sort of thing happens to Sora in that episode, and then they just kind of quickly explain it away. Like Matt's just kind of like, oh, like you just gotta trust people, and yeah, like just don't let the darkness win over your heart. I don't quite remember. Watched that like a couple weeks ago, but it's something along those lines. And yeah, it was just like, huh? Like that's your solution to being depressed? Just basically telling her, hey, don't be depressed anymore. And it works. Like she just kind of gets out of her funk and she's like, oh, right, like we can do this. And I was like, I don't know, that's a little too simple of a solution. Like I said, I give them a lot of leeway. It's a kids show, but if I'm being very objective, it just wasn't like the best way to communicate it. I thought with Matt, it was done pretty well, and like Abumon kind of helping him see like how he has a friend. And I thought with Sora's part, it was just kind of weird. That part fell kind of flat. So yeah, overall, really love the characters still. I think some of them definitely like, yeah, I hadn't noticed that there wasn't as much development for like Joe. Um, actually maybe mainly Joe. Maybe like Izzy a little bit. I feel like Izzy's also kind of a similar character throughout, but I think I really like Izzy's conclusion and how he just kind of sits there casually, so matter of fact, with Tentamon at the end, and he's like, "Oh, I love you," and Tentamon's super taken aback. But yeah, I feel like Joe didn't have as much character growth. You know, there are times where he stepped up to lead, and he's kind of this wimpy, also nerdy guy, but um, yeah, you know, it was still mostly good. Ty probably is a little bit more annoying than I remember, but also they're all kids. Like that's just it makes sense that that's how they are. So, and as much as I didn't love the undercutting of the serious moments, like the jokes to me honestly land a lot of the time. They're little one-liners, the things that don't even make sense, like oh, why would they be saying this? Especially when Digimon are talking about like human world things as like a metaphor. Um, I just thought those moments were still funny. Still got a laugh out of me, and sometimes just got a laugh out of me for how silly the situations are. So I feel like there were a lot of jokes written into the script that were just like the writers, the adult writers, thinking to themselves, "Oh, like this is just funny," and like them laughing to themselves. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm laughing along with them." So overall, if I were to score the first season, without any context of future things that came out by itself, I would probably say it's like a 7.3, like pretty decent. And I don't like regret having watched it for sure. I still hold it up as like a yeah, like I love this show and it was a big part of my childhood, and I think because of the nostalgia, I'm never going to like not enjoy watching it. And so as I've been starting on this Digimon card journey, as you guys have been maybe following along on this channel, yeah, I think I feel a little bit more connected, and it was fun with my wife. Like, she's been obviously opening packs with me, and her just being like, oh, like, it's that Digimon that we have a trading card of. So that was fun, just getting to be like, oh yeah, we have cards of like all of these characters, basically. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you thought of Digimon Adventure 01. Let me know what your favorite part of the show is. I'm trying to think what my favorite moment of the show might be. I feel like I think like the two of the climactic parts of like the very not the very last battle, but like the Piedmon fight where Kari and TK are literally at the end of their rope, and it's like, oh my gosh, like what are we gonna do? That part also was a little bit like Matt's just kind of like, you gotta hope, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna hope, and I'm like, I don't really understand what that what that was all about, but I thought that was like somewhat cool. I think as I'm talking through this out loud, my favorite moment has to be when Angemon kind of exists for the first time, like when Patamon digivolves for the first time. It's like, oh man, this thing hasn't been happening, like I'm worse than all the other Digidestined, as like TK and Patamon both are like feeling really insecure about that, and then to suddenly be like, whoa, like a very biblical moment of like, here's this angel Digimon who is sacrificing himself to take down the devil Digimon. I thought that's just like a really cool moment, and to me like helps even mirror some of what the gospel story is of Jesus sacrificing himself for us to defeat sin and evil. And so I really appreciate that. Thought that was like a cool representation, and I'm always just surprised by the inclusion of that being so much at the forefront of the plot of Digimon. So yeah, let me know what your favorite moment is, and make sure to like and subscribe to see more content. Maybe it's Digimon, maybe it's random other stuff, I don't know, but hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.